Sungrow is a leader in energy storage, and we are thrilled to learn more from them today. Mizhi Zhang joins us now, who is the Managing Director of ESS at Sungrow. Mizhi, we are so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me today.
So tell me, what are some of the most important factors that made Sungrow successful in the ESS market? And how does Sungrow position itself in the ESS industry?
So Sungrow, let's just talk about a little bit of Sungrow history, right? Sungrow started business about 23 years ago, and we started as a power electronics company that making all power conversion devices. And it was very nature for Sungrow to get into renewable industry because that's got to be a very important piece of the entire renewable energy and industry supply chain. So I think one of the most important factor for Sungrow to keep the leading position and the successful in the past 23 years is actually the technology innovations in power electronics and battery management system and the thermal management, right? So those factors that really enable Sungrow to stand on the leading edge and keep having the new product to meet customers' demand and the requirements.
So in 2021, we have seen the battery capacity constraint across the industry. So has Sungrow taken any preventative actions? And how did Sungrow manage its supply chain to support its growth expectation?
So Sungrow has been taking a very proactive, roles and also taking a lot of different approaches to try to mitigate the impact. As we know that, the constraint is more like a growth trajectory. It goes up and down. Always you will see this kind of things repeating in the future, and how we can prevent that. So Sungrow we call that no-sell strategy. In other words, we're trying to build an entire overall platform and enable different technology and a different product to be able to be integrated into the same platform. For example, if we had a problem with one technology and we can easily migrating to another technology, so that enable us to have a more flexibility in terms of selecting the right product for right customers. So this is from technology perspective. That's what we did, so-called no-sell strategy, and it really enables Sungrow to have a so-called wider spectrum of the selection of the technology to support our customers, right? No matter is LFP or MCM, if you're really familiar with the battery cell technology, that we all include them in our product family. So that's one of the most important things that we did in the past to really support or relieve the pain of the capacity constraint. Mm-hmm. And the second thing I would like to emphasize is Sungrow is really considering the global production plan. So in the 2021, another important factor is about the trade wars around the globe, and which give us a lot of a pause or impediment, as you per se, that for the global trading, in which we don't enjoy to see that, but this is the reality we have to deal with. As a result, Sungrow has been taking a very proactive approaches to look into expand our production into the global, such as India, and also we look into other plans and production facility that it will enable Sungrow to support our global customer and the global business needs. So those are two major important things that we believe that we took and that effectively helped the Sungrow to get out of that capacity constraint.
So can you briefly tell us about some of the new products that Sungrow is going to offer to the market in 2021 or 22?
Sungrow has been, as I just mentioned in the past, Sungrow has always been in a leading position to promote energy renovation and also the innovation in the renewable industry. So we start with power electronics, but our innovation roadmap has been expanded into the entire spectrum of the energy storage, from the DC-DC conversion. So in the 2022, Sungrow gonna release our next generation of the liquid-cooled energy storage full turnkey platform, and which features a lot of the state-of-art of DC-DC power conversion, and also we call that screen level management. And also we also introduced a lot of smart thermal management to really improve the product, the overall thermal performance. By doing that, I think our energy storage, energy density, and the overall performance will increase by 30% compared with our L-code, the older generations. So one thing I also would like to point out is Sungrow will release our next generation of inverter, energy storage inverter, we call the PCS. It's a 5 megawatt single PCS. I believe that 5 megawatt single PCS will be the largest in the industry by far. So again, we're putting another time we're leading the industry at the moment.
All right, let's go big picture now. So what is your vision for energy storage over the next decade?
As you can see in the past, I've been involved in renewable industry starting from 2008 and the joint Sungrow in 2012, and we see a lot upside down. We see a lot of changes and turbulence in this market renewable. That's very normal for any of the new industry. So energy storage right now, I'm still consider energy storage as more like a toddler stage. We're not quite teenager yet. And we believe that it needs a lot of cares and needs a lot of industrial leaders to work together to really make the industry to be more mature. So to be brief, I think the decarbonization, digitalization, and the decentralization would be the future trend. And energy storage are going to play a very, very important role in those areas.
So in the pursuit of the goal, 100 gigawatts by 2030, what will contribute the most to achieving this goal? And on the flip side, what are the biggest impediments?
Yes, that's a good question. So I think in order to achieve that ambitious goal, 100 gigawatts hour, there's a lot of things for the government and for the industrial leader that we all can do together to achieve that. So look into the future to achieve our goal. I think there's a multiple aspect we can looking at. The first one is really the policymakers, as we know that policy is very important to really help the renewable industry to form, to shape in the early days. We need a lot of support from ITC, from different subsidy, and also from the way how they trade, right? Make the project to become more economical. So I'm very glad to see that, the Congress has already proposed a bipartisan ITC bill that is going, we believe that will be going to pass to really support the ITC to cover standalone storage, which is very encouraging news. So that's one example that the policymaker can really bring a positive impact to the industry. And second, I think that's even more important is our technology innovations. I think that's fundamentally, that's a driving force to really help the industry to form and to shape and in a different way and to be more competitive compare with the fossil fuels, compare with other type of energy that we used to in the past 100 years, right? So without any technology innovation, none of those can be achieved. So innovation, technology, that's going to be the backbone structure for any of us, for any of the industry to be a grown up, right? Now, as I said, I just mentioned it, we're toddler, we're going through a teenager process, we're trying to grow up. And the symbol of grow up, you need to be independent of different market, right? Independent of policy. You have to stand up to compete with other forms of energies, right? So energy storage can really help it with our renewable industry to compete with the traditional energy, coal, fossil fuels, gas. So we're looking very promising from that perspective. I mean, different technologies can really help the whole industry to be more mature. Talk about the impediment, right? Definitely we see some hurdles, right? We see some hurdles. So I think I would say the hurdle we're facing is how to bring people's awareness of the cognition of how to adopt more renewable energy, right, in the past, and how we can open our arms to embrace the future of the renewable energy, right? Understanding the fossil fuels, the coal, burning the coal, and really harm the environment can really bring us catastrophic outcome, extreme weathers, and I would say the how to incentive the awareness of the renewable energy. That's going to be the most important task for anybody who work in this industry to promote, to help the people to understand.
A lot to look forward to and work for as we move forward in this new year. So thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us today. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's been very pleasant to talk to you.